if you have a passion for baking cakes, really think about that. Whether, do you want to turn your passion into a job? Because, you can kill that pretty quickly, that passion then it becomes a business. And so there's a lot of argument both ways. And I've thought about that over the years. And I do agree in the sense that you may be good. I'm good at dealing with people. I connect with people really well. It comes easily to me. And then I started thinking through, well, how, what's the best way for me to make money with that skill that I enjoy doing? And that came with real estate. I was like, wow, I can have a big impact. I can connect with people. I can build relationships and also make money. And so it wasn't like I was in love with real estate. I just really enjoyed connecting with people. So maybe that is the key to the entrepreneurship vein of where you go with your career or your entrepreneurship desires, is finding out what you're good at, what trait you're good at, and then how can you make money with that? Then maybe that's the first step. But then that moves into, so when I got into real estate, I was very much an extrovert. You take the Myers-Briggs, you do the personality, what do they call it? Personality tests. And I came back and I was very much an introvert. 25 years later, I'm an introvert now. Believe it or not. I'm more of an introvert.
See what real estate does? It kills your soul.
It melts you to the core. And I think that is part of it because you deal with people constantly in this business, and it's really hard to shut off. That when I do have time, I'm like, no, I just kind of want to be with my family. And if I'm staring at the wall for a while, Moran knows, okay, just let him stare at the wall for a little bit. Like he's okay. But it has affected me in that way. I've become more of an introvert over the years. And so that brings us to the question of how do you find work-life balance as an entrepreneur? Shannon, what are some of the tools you use, or what are some of the safeguards you put in place in your life to protect yourself?
Well, I haven't done as good as Aspen, where she's pretty good about like turning her phone off at certain hours and having specific time for herself. I struggle with that, but I want to be better at that. I think that is a key. I think that's something you have to do. You have to say no. Sundays are, I can return calls after 2 p.m, after I've had, Sunday brunch with my family and I've had church and I've done those things. And now I can go check in on some things if I want to. It's a balance. You can get both. Sometimes you have to turn it off. I think that sometimes you're pretty good at this. You go 110% with everything and build up. But then usually twice a year, you take 2 great family trips with your family while your kids are on summer vacation. That's incredible because that's quality time. And I know you still check in on work and you're still working, you're still available, but you make sure to delegate that stuff back at home and make sure everyone's taken care of before you go and make sure it's all caught up. You do the hard work so that you can have that time more focused and enjoy that. And I think those things are just incredibly important to be able to juggle that. You have to be able to have both, because if you have too much of your own time, your business is going to suffer. And if you have too much of your business time, your family's going to suffer. I know there are times where, when I remember when our boys were small, it really kind of hit me one day. We were driving to Albuquerque, and by the time we got there, and I remember I had been on the phone on and off, and I was just taking care of work and trying to do things and back and forth and stuff pretty much the whole drive. And so that when we got there, I could kind of shut off and, go have some fun. And when we got there, somebody said, oh, I don't know, how was the drive or whatever, somebody asked. And one of the kids said, well, Shannon was just on the phone the entire time again, and it kind of hit me wrong, and I was like, yeah, like we didn't enjoy our drive. We didn't play games in the car. We didn't, some of the things that we normally do. So you realize sometimes how much you give up, trying to make that balance.
Yeah. The old adage, live to work. No, you work to live.
Right.
And it's hard when you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because that grays all the time.
You can't walk away from work and still expect to have a business left intact. So
and the work provides those vacations.
Yeah.
It provides.
So you have to keep working it even when you are on your personal time. You just have to find time to balance it, to have a little bit of both. Yeah.
But that was a good wake up moment when the kid said that to you.
Yeah.
So hit at the core. Aspen, what do you do? What are some of the parameters that you set in place, or how do you approach balance in your life?
The only parameter I really have is I put my phone on Do Not Disturb if I'm going to sleep. And then whenever I wake up, I turn it off. And then if we're doing like special family time, like if I'm at, honestly, not even like my kid's birthday or something, I still will take a call for that kind of thing. But if we're doing something together as a family and I really just want to focus on that, it's very, very rare that I turn it on during the day. But holidays, on Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas, my phone is on Do Not Disturb the whole day. I don't even look at it.
And I think people should expect that.
You
Title
would think,
companies, banks,
yeah.
things like that are not moving forward. So the average person that's just calling in and saying, I'd like to know about this property today, they should expect to not get someone on that day, I think. I think it's completely reasonable.
Yeah, it's mainly holidays that I turn it off. And then I also I've had this hard, fast rule since I've had a cell phone. If I have a drink of alcohol, my phone is on Do Not Disturb.
That's a good idea.
I don't get on social media. I don't call people. I don't do anything. Because I'm like, you're not going to get my best. Yeah. You might get a happy side of me, a little fun side of me, but you're not going to get, we're not getting any work done in that case. But I tell my clients, if my phone's on at 11 o'clock at night, that means I'm working. You can give me a call. There's not real business hours, but if my phone's on Do Not Disturb, I will call you back. Yeah. And then if I go on vacation, I'll do like the email responder, but I always will respond within about 12 hours, depending on if it's in the US or outside of the US.
Right.
Yeah.
Do keep working.
Yeah. And I was thinking about this a lot last night. I was like, how do I find work-life balance? And I think there's a couple things that came to mind. First and foremost is just like establishing, I would call them pillars, I guess, with my family. So like, we're going to do this event. That's a pillar. I'm scheduling it in. I'm going to do it. I'm being present and committed. Whatever I'm trying to do with my family or with my clients, I'm present, I'm there, and I'm committed to what we're doing. And I really try to take that approach. And that way, whether it's, sitting down with my girls and we're doing board game night or we're enjoying an experience together, I'm committed and I'm there. I'm not on the phone or my mind isn't elsewhere. Now, that's easier said than done because sometimes we have these deals, there's a lot of moving parts and there's people with high emotions and stuff like that. But I try, that's what I really go for. And the other thing is that when those pillars are established, I just work around it. So like you said, my phone, I'm responding to texts at 11:30 at night because I know it's easier and better for me to do that than to wake up the next day when we're going on a little excursion and we're, on a vacation. I'd rather get it done that evening. And sometimes I just tell Maran, I'm like, look, I just need an hour to clear this and then I can go and enjoy. And I think that's part of it. Like try to eat the frog, right?
Yeah.
Right. Very first thing, try to eat it up front and get it done and clear some space for you. So I think that's a big thing. But also for me personally, you two can chime in on this, emotionally, we are so connected to, first of all, our clients, but also the fact that we put all this work into these transactions to actually get a paycheck at the end of the day, whether it's 60 days, 90 days, 6 months. You have that emotional connection to it. Over the years, I've been able to numb that back.
Right.
Like it is what it is. I'm going to do the best that I can with what I've got, and the chips fall where they fall. There has been an incredible amount of stress reduction by getting to that. Is that the namaste point?
Right.